Hi, my name is Joey, and this is my channel, Phoenix #risingfromtheashes. It's a vlog about life with anxiety, depression, and executive dysfunction that drives me up the wall. Uh, and I welcome you to my channel today. It is still here. My channel is still here. I took everything away, and then I put everything that was there already back, but there's still half of it that's gone away. And it's not gone, but it's not public, and my partner seems to think that I am highly insulting to anyone who is subscribing and watching by taking the videos away, and that's like a YouTube sin or something. I don't know. So with that thought in mind, I thought, well, I don't want to burn my bridges. If I have any, I want to keep doing this. It's not going to get any easier for me, so I might as well just accept that and just muddle through. I mean, it's not muddling through like I don't want to do it. I do want to do it. I have a lot of other things that compete in my life for my attention, and sitting in front of the camera does take a bit of effort. And see, I have makeup on. My hair's clean. Nice. I don't always do that, because I have the depression and all that. But anyway, here I am, and it takes a bit of an effort to get here. And so it's hard for me to do this. But that's why I'm doing it. Because, as I always said from day one, I'm doing this for my daughter, because I know she will have to deal with her mental health in a way that will be similar to the way I deal with it, I think, for a while at least, because she's learned it from me, basically. I think, anyway. I mean, okay, just a warning. I guess I'm going to go on a little bit of a self-pitying sort of rant about how much things are my fault. Okay, so just excuse that. It's a little bit self-absorbed, but I think I have to get through it to get to the other side. So here's the thing. She's not entirely, it's not entirely anybody's fault as far as environment, how my daughter is developing, because she is a product of her parents together, and that is, well, both of us have these problems, like, really badly. And it was not a surprise that she would have these problems too. It's been kind of surprising to see how they've come about, but the fact that they're there is not surprising. It would be more surprising if they weren't, quite frankly. She has ADHD and ODD, oppositional defiant disorder. And from what I've been reading, that is not largely, but it factors in noticeably as an environmental trigger, like an environmental issue. It often goes on hand in hand with things like ADHD, but it's still, it's still its own thing, and it's still, they say, develops a lot because of the environment that the child grows up in. If there's a lot of fighting, if there's a lot of strife between the caregivers, all of the caregivers. My mother seems to think she doesn't count as a caregiver, but she does, because she's here giving care. So, there's that. And there's been a lot of that. Honestly, I wish I could say otherwise, but there hasn't. There has been a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting. Not physical fighting, but fighting, verbal fighting. And that's damaging. That's the very thing that kind of makes them sort of tip into that defiant disorder sort of mentality. I mean, it's about there not being control and like consistency in their lives. And her dad and I, my partner and I, Angie and I, have been working really hard on trying to communicate with each other and trying to always reevaluate what the best thing for our daughter is and the best way that we can deal with her issues that come up in a constructive way. We don't at the same time want to let her get away with everything, because then she's not better for that. We've been having a lot of problems recently over things like her just feeling like she's not the best at something. Like, for example, the other day, my partner knows like martial arts, and she was teaching our daughter about a hold, like if somebody's holding you here, how you can get out of it and this sort of thing. And she goes, I'm an expert at this, you know. And we're like, okay, yeah, but except you're not. We can teach you, though. We can show you. And because my partner and I have worked out together in that way, martial arts, sparring and whatnot, we got into that position and we were like, okay, now this is what you do. You hold the person's hand in this position and you can pry their hand away. And this is what I was always shown. And we're trying to show her this. And she melts down completely. How dare you? We're trying to show her up. I mean, as insulted as somebody could be about that, however they could be insulted by it, she was insulted by it, and then some, and then like 1,000 times more. So, because she was just inconsolably pissed. And these blow-ups happen, and she's like uncontrollably pissed, and it's followed by screaming. She screams like at the top of her lungs. I don't know. I didn't know it was possible for the human voice to scream like she screams. And it's ugly. It's ugly. And I probably said too much if I'm trying not to say too much, but I probably said too much. But I'm trying to just get my point across that every day lately has been like this. I have gotten her into therapy, both medication management type thing, and also they call it play therapy, but like a psychologist that speaks with her and works with her. I've gotten her into these things now. Finally. It took a long time, both from my mentally challenged way and also because it's hard around here to find people that will do these things. There's a shortage of providers that can do these things for kids, especially kids so young. And so I feel very lucky to have found people. But even though she's on a medication and she's been involved in this, the past several weeks, couple of months, whatever you want to call it, bad. And every day is just survival. Trying to manage her whims and her ups and her downs, and trying not to let them get all out of proportion and blown up. Trying to let her have fun, but at the same time keep her calm. Because the more excited she gets, the more amped up she gets, the more likely something's going to set her off and make her pissed as fuck. And my whole time with her when she's not at school, I worry about her the entire time. Like worry, like to the point that I am distracted from life and can only sit here catatonically and worry sometimes. That worried. Just, And of course that's not productive at all, which is why nothing is done ever around the house. But anyway, that's another subject altogether, and I'm not going to get into that right now. What I'm talking about is my daughter and the fact that she just loses her crap. And nothing can console her. She just has to blow it out, and then slowly she'll calm down again. And it doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter how hard we are on her. It doesn't matter how soft we are on her. It's got to run its course, I guess. We've been trying to research ADHD. And so last month, we haven't done one yet for this month, but I'm going to do one, a book on tape, but not a tape, what's a tape? No, Audible. And we listened to books on there. And last month we listened to, I don't remember the exact title of it. It wasn't really worth promoting or anything. It was written from the standpoint of a journalist who had a perfect life and then kind of got stuck with this sort of ADHD monster child, I guess, or something. And she's just talking about how she's, lifting information from other sources about how, ADHD is, largely not their fault that they're acting like that, but it's in their brain chemistry, and the whole act of going to school, public school, goes against everything that the ADHD sort of mindset or mind capability can handle. It can't handle anything that is involved with going to school, the structure, the learning, I guess, techniques that they employ. And also that you have to be flexible when you're dealing with these children, because every day we have to reevaluate almost. Okay, how are we doing this today? How are we doing this award system today? Because we have to have an award system for her. She has to have one at school. It's been put into the law now. And, we're trying to do something like that similar at home so we can sort of mirror the school and maybe, since it's working there, it will work here. But we don't always agree, my partner and I. We don't always agree on conditions, like things that should be taken away because this thing was said or done, and we don't always agree. And sometimes I think I'm right. Sometimes I think she's right. However, I will say this, oftentimes my partner can bring to light to me in a very effective way with words that by letting myself be so lenient on her, because I'm lenient as fuck on her, okay? And by letting myself be so lenient on her, she's just getting more and more unstable and more out of control. And we need to be united, and we know that. We know we need to be united. If there's one thing in this book about this lady who's this journalist whose life was perfect and got saddled with the kid, if there's one thing about her book that I learned was that, I just lost it. I'm getting off track and I lost what I was off tracking about. I guess my point that I'm trying to make is we're trying to educate ourselves. We're trying to be open to our communication and to our unification when it comes to that kid, because we know that what's important for her is to have that structure. And it's hard to have that structure when you don't have that structure yourself. Like, I have no structure at all. None. Zip, zero, zilch. My partner, I don't know. I guess I can't really speak for her, but I don't think she's got much structure either. What do I mean by structure? I mean like doing the same thing every day at the same time. You know, like a thing that you have to do to maintain your life. Doing something like that every day at the same time. That's structure. And there's not a whole lot of that I have. Like, one week, I might be able to make dinner for us every week, every day. The next week, I'll be flat on my ass because I worked so hard the week before. And thus is how it goes. Some things, sometimes I can do things and sometimes I can't do things. Sometimes I remember to stick within a prescription, like a award system, for example. Sometimes I remember to stick to those things. Sometimes I don't fucking remember. Sometimes I think I just do what's easier. I'm not proud of that, but it's true. So when you put all that together and you're trying to take care of this kid who needs this structure desperately and needs this firmness in her life and needs all her caregivers to be on the same page, I can't provide that. Thus, I've failed. Number one, boom. Why can't I provide that? Well, I'll tell you why. My partner and I have our problems, okay? I've never minced words about that. That's true. From the beginning, we've always had our problems. We love each other dearly, but we have our disagreements too. Even if we can work out our disagreements, and even if we can do it in a model way, we can't work things out with my mother. And here's the thing. I haven't wanted to talk on this channel for a long time because I can't get real. Okay? I can't be honest, I feel inside. Like, I can't be honest about how I feel about certain things in my life, like my mother. She is immeasurably good to me. She has given me this life. She has given me everything I have right now. I have because of my mother. And she's not a bad mother. She's not a bad person. And I don't like to say bad things about her. But at the same time, even though she loves me very much and gives me everything she possibly can give me, I really don't feel like she has any respect for me. Not in a way that adult has any respect for another adult. And maybe people will say, oh, people can never respect their children like other adults. Well, why the fuck not? You should respect your children when they're fucking adults like other fucking adults. Sorry. Don't mean to yell. I forget that happens. But the loudness and all that. I'm sorry. But you should respect your children when they're adults like they're other adults. You shouldn't talk about them when they're not around. You shouldn't subtly sort of discount everything they say or try to do as subpar and unacceptable if you're trying to show them respect. If you respect them I feel that that's not showing respect. Okay? And so even though my mother loves me very much, and even though she gives me very much, I don't feel like she respects me. I know she doesn't respect my partner at all and hates her guts. To her, she's a him. And we're not really like allowed, I guess, to sort of refer to Angie as she and as who she, is, because my mother can't handle that. Like, she's just like, you are insane and you are a phony baloney, and I'm not going to like even give you time of day for that. And I don't like saying things like that about my mother on the internet, because y'all are just jackals when it comes to people who are not understanding about transgender people. And I get that. I get it. You should be, because lots of people are very, 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 very close-minded. And other people, like my fucking ass, just fucking forget. Okay? I just do. I'm sorry. I know I'm an asshole. I get it. But I'm also a very forgetful motherfucker. So I don't know what you want me to do. I've hit my head kind of majorly 4 times in the last 7 years. And I don't remember things the way I should. I just don't. But anyway, I don't like to say things like my mother is this close-minded and this kind of person. But, like, she's never really demonstrated that she's not. And she thinks everything my partner does is phony and stupid, and he's an idiot, and he's see, I'm saying he because I'm talking about my mother, and we're not allowed to. It's just how I talk. Sorry. I mean, even if the daughter never was around my mother when she was talking on the phone or to other people, and the way she talks about us, the things she says, she tells everybody all of our business. Okay, everybody that she knows everything about us. I don't like that. It pisses me off. But the daughter hears all the things that she says about us, and she don't hold back. If she thinks we're being an idiot, she will come across in the way she's talking that these two are idiots and don't know what the fuck they're doing. If she doesn't feel that way, come out and tell me that right now, mother, because that's how you come across to me. Like I said, I haven't wanted to talk about this on this channel because I don't feel I have any right to talk about my mother, talk shit about my mother. She's been too good to me. Too good to me. More good than I deserve, probably. I always felt like that anyway. That my parents were better to me than I deserved them to be. Of course, I'm learning now that to feel that way is a sign of trauma, and like, that you weren't maybe treated so nice when you were younger. And that's not so easy to come to terms with, because my parents were very good to me. But that doesn't mean that my sensitive ass didn't take things a little too far sometimes. And whether it be assigning myself massive amounts of guilt or excusing myself, whatever the fuck I wanted to do or say, it doesn't seem to matter. So here we are, back with a bang. What a nice video to start out the new ish keeping going of the channel. I'm not deleting it yet. No. Thank you for watching, and come back next time. Like, comment, and subscribe.